Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Beanie, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm doing a little post commentary on this game that was absolutely insane, guys. This game was unbelievable. And I'm so glad that I was recording it whenever I was because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to record it. I've gotten really high like in my ratings. Like this is the first season where I've really tried to, as you see, I get Vita Blue again. People who are in my stream will kind of think that's funny. I get Vita Blue every freaking game. That's the only pitcher I ever play with. I might as well sell everybody else. But right now I'm ranked in like the top 50 or whatever, and typically I don't play as well whenever I record, but I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna, if it's a good game, I'm gonna do post commentary on it, and it was a great game, so I decided to do the post commentary on it. As you can see, my opponent was 21-4, he's very good. There are going to be cuts in this game and everything. I'm not going to show everything because it was kind of a low scoring game. And there was a lot of like dead periods and stuff, so I ended up cutting a lot of it out. But all the good parts, I think, are kind of in there. So the first inning, we have Jacoby Ellsbury up. And by the way, guys, I know that my uniforms look awful. Right now they have like this big mishmash of colors or whatever. The reason for that is I'm changing my uniforms. Like I'm changing from the blue and gold to like the green and like a mustard yellow color. And I did my home uniforms, but last night, and then I was like, okay, I'll do my away uniforms tomorrow. But I just, because I was kind of tired, but I forgot before I started this game. So it's like this weird mishmash of all these colors, and they look just miserable right now. Like they're the ugliest uniforms ever. But yeah, right here I fly out. The first inning, I just couldn't get anything going, and honestly, almost the whole game, I couldn't get anything going. I hit so poorly, but I don't know if it was really me hitting poorly or him just pitching incredibly, but he did a really good job with Kershaw. Typically, I hit Kershaw pretty hard. Like, he's not that great against me. But in this game, it was a bit of a different story. The good thing that saved me is he was kind of struggling too, so it ended up making it a lot closer than maybe it would have been if he was hitting great. But in all honesty, both of us were just having a great game pitching. And you'll see that as the game goes on, is that we just did an excellent job at limiting hits for each other. Gets a nice little ground out right there with Altuve. Man, Altuve, you know, he has that 87 speed, but golly, sometimes he seems faster. Like, this Ellsbury has 92 speed, but it really seems like Altuve gets down the line quicker than him. I don't know. Speed is kind of a weird thing. I don't know if, like, it's size dependent or anything like that, but those tiny little guys like Altuve, they sure do get down the line fast. And guys, while this is going on, this inning, I am going to tell you I am going to be streaming at 2 o'clock today for the new content that's going to release. I do believe they're coming out with some new content today. So I could be wrong about that, but I'm going to be streaming anyway. And then later on today, I'm doing a collab with Top Shelf. And I'm really excited about that. As you can see, I hit a home run to break it open right there. That home run ends up being incredibly important. Every run is important whenever you have a low-scoring game. I wasn't able to get anything else, and we're fast forward now to the bottom of the fifth inning, and this was kind of a vital inning. And you'll see why. Like, you know, as it's happening, you don't really realize how important these little moments are. But that's kind of the theme of this episode of this gameplay, is that little things matter a ton. Like, okay, right here, he gets a nice little base hit with nobody out. Typically in a game, if I can get that first out without anybody on, I'm good. If they can get a runner on with nobody out, it causes a lot of problems, especially if they have a lot of speed. And as you can see, he's trying to take advantage of that speed. I try to pick him off, and I throw it away, and that's just unfortunate. I hate how random that is. I wish that there was some sort of interface that could like let you pick off better, or I don't know. It's a really weird thing. But he's on second base with nobody out. I'm in trouble, guys. Like, I really need to figure this out. But and right here, I try to pick him off again. Thank God I didn't throw it away right there. But we have Vita Blue going. We're out of the slide step because I don't want to risk him stealing. And we get a ground ball to Cal. and I'm able to hold him at second base. And once again, a little thing coming through, keeping him at second base with one out. As long as he doesn't steal third, I'm in a much better situation than I was. And right there, I almost gave it to him. Thank God my creative player was able to block that, because I would have been in a lot of trouble if if he couldn't have blocked that. And he kind of lets me get away with a pretty bad changeup right there. So I got away with that. So what do? I go right back to the changeup, and it's a beautiful one. It's right on the outside corner. Try to throw that high fastball here, and it works. I strike him out. I didn't get a lot of strikeouts during this game. It was kind of surprising. Typically, I strike more people out. But and we have to face, I believe, is this Cal Ripken? And I get him to roll over a really, really well-placed changeup. It looked like it was going to be a strike, but I'm pretty sure it was going to be a little bit outside. But he rolls over on that. And later in the game here, I believe we're in the seventh, or the bottom of the sixth now, we bring in Jonathan Broxton, and he rolls over this pitch. And, I said earlier, if I can get that first out, I always feel really comfortable. And I was feeling, especially with the pitcher coming up, I felt really good about my lead right here. And but I have kind of a bad at-bat right here with Kershaw. I throw the slider. I get him to chase there. I'm like, okay, 1-1 count. What do? I throw probably the worst pitch possible. I throw a high and outside fastball. Pitchers often eat that up because it's not as difficult to get your PCI there. And when you're using a pitcher, you're not even really worried about timing. You're just worried about getting your PCI there. So it's better to put it in spots where it's tough to get your PCI. That was a really poor pitch by me. And we'll see if it comes back to bite me. God, those uniforms are just so freaking ugly, man. I hate them. I've got to change those ASAP. I need to change those before the stream. I don't know. They're pretty bad, but I think my home uniforms look really good. I went mostly green. I didn't put a lot of gold in there, but I have these cream-colored uniforms. And that's another little thing. Moving him over to second base right there changes the whole dynamic of this inning. Thankfully, I get Altuve. Man, what a close play that was. I'm telling you, he gets down the line so fast. But luckily, I'm able to get him there, so I'm like, all right, I got this. So I throw an inside fastball here with Broxton, and he fists it out into center field to tie the game up. And, oh, man, that was so frustrating, guys. It really was. Giving him that run, I thought I had it. And but we're able to get out of that inning, but then we have to move on to the seventh inning. And I warm up Houston Street, but then I have Felipe Rivero in there. He has two lefties coming up this inning, so I feel like I can get an advantage with him. I really need to keep this game tied because nobody is scoring runs right now. It's a very, very pitching-heavy game. And every run comes at a premium, so I know that if he gets a lead right here, I've seen his bullpen. It's amazing. If he gets a lead, I might be done. So I'm doing everything I can. I'm pulling out every trick in the book to try to get him out and try to get out of this inning. And it's kind of the middle of his lineup. It's a tough part to get through. And right here, Mike Trout is just battling. I mean, Mike Trout. I'm kind of split on whether I like him or Dawson more. I don't have Mike Trout. I think even despite how good he is and despite the fact that you get the Nolan Ryan with that collection, I don't think he is worth the 400,000 plus stubs that he costs. I just don't. I don't think there's many players, unless it's like the Carlos Beltran from last year. I don't think there's many players that are worth that. And I strike out Mike Trout, and I'm like, yes, okay, I feel amazing. Bottom of the seventh. It's a tie ball game. I feel like I can maybe get a run to take the lead, but I don't want to be playing from behind right here. That would be really bad. So I don't know why I'm pitching around this guy and not just going right after him. I'm trying to make all these really creative pitches against Cody Bellinger, and it probably wasn't the smartest thing. I think I should have just gone right after him, and it would have worked out a lot better. But I'm throwing all these secondary pitches and stuff, and he's proven that he can hit the fastball okay, but not great. So what I did right there was not really it just didn't make a lot of sense. And now we're, kind of in a tough spot. Now, not a tough spot. I mean, now we're in a tough spot right here. He hits a gapper on a pitch that was probably a ball, and he slaps it into right field, and he ends up getting the go-ahead run. That's devastating, guys. That right there is devastating to my causes. But I'm able to get out of the rest of it, okay? I'm able to get out of that. But now we fast forward to the top of the ninth. I'm still down 2-1. And he brings in Kenley Jansen, guys. And I hit Kenley Jansen so bad. I'm so bad against this guy. He is the most dominant reliever whenever he is facing me. I think I rated him like 5th whenever I came out with my top 10 pitchers list, and I almost have to revise that. I think he might be the best relief pitcher in the game. He's really, really good. Right there, he throws a cutter, and he kind of misses with it, but it was just in the right spot to where I couldn't hit it out. That was really unfortunate, and he strikes me out with a beautiful slider. So that's just a poor at-bat. Then right here, at this point, I've almost given up. I've almost given up. Like, I'm just like, God, how am I gonna do this? I don't know. Like, I had to get kind of lucky, to be honest with you. And you're about to see me get kind of lucky right here. Like, look, right there. That should not be a base hit, and it almost ends up. He almost ends up catching it. But with Jackie Robinson's speed, he's able to get on. So now I have a chance. I have my creative player up. I have a chance. I've got to steal second base, though. Try right there. It was a good pitch to do a hit and run on, but I'm not able to get it down. I try to steal again, and I make it. So that's really good. Okay, we've got this game. I mean, 1 out, runner on second. We can do this. We slap it into left field for the base hit. I don't think I can make it. He has Dawson out there. I think I would have been hosed. Even with Jackie's speed, I end up holding him. And I think that was probably the best move because I think I probably would have lost if I would have sent him. And that sinker, once again, is eating me up. I'm late on it. I can't get my PCI to it. If he would have stuck to that, it probably would have been ball game. But he starts doing this quick pitch cutter. He does this several times in a row. And it's like in the same spot. And for whatever reason, I just can't square it up. But then he misses with it. He misses with it right here. And I feel like I got my PCI there, and I feel like I timed it well. But I popped it out. It was very unfortunate. And this was a big decision right here. I have Chris Taylor coming up. So I end up subbing him out. He was playing center field for Victor Martinez. And my plan is I need the switch hitter in here, and I'll figure out the defense later. What I end up doing is I end up putting my creative player in center, and I end up putting Victor at catcher. So it's not ideal by any stretch, but I'm desperate for runs right here. I have 2 outs, and it's in the top of the ninth, and I'm desperate, and desperate times call for desperate measures. So I have Victor up, and he pauses several times, and he decides to bring in Chapman, and I'm so thankful that he did because I would much rather face Chapman than Kenley Jansen. I know that that's crazy to say that you want to face Aroldis Chapman, but at this point in my game, I feel like I have a better shot against him, especially since he is a lefty and Victor hits lefties way better. Right there, I slap it into right field. I get that run across, and I'm feeling so freaking good right now, guys. You have no idea how pumped I am to get that run because I really thought that the game was over. And right now I'm thinking, man, dude, I have a chance to take the lead and win this thing in the ninth. And I did not think that was going to happen. What I'm really looking for is I'm really looking for him to come in with a fastball. And right here, he totally does, but I misread it, and I'm not able to turn on it. That was unfortunate. He's about to come in with another one, though, but he spots it really well. I turn on it, everything was good, but if that ball is an inch more to the right on the left-hand corner of the plate, that ball is gone. I have a 5-2 lead, and we win the ball game right there, but he spotted it so well that I wasn't able to do this. Right now I have Joe Nathan up in the bullpen, and I'm like, even though my bullpen is getting kind of short, I'm thinking about bringing in Chapman here. And I believe that's what I end up doing, but I have to put Jumbo in at center and then move Victor to catcher. And it definitely wasn't ideal, but I had to do it. Actually, no, I leave Joe Nathan in. I think I decided, end up striking out Corey Seager there. I don't know why I cut it like that, but right here, we have one out. What a play by Cal Ripken to get Cal Ripken. Holy crap, that was legit. That ended up saving me right there because, as you'll see, this inning ended up not being as easy as you would think. But with Eddie Matthews up, I look at his bullpen and I'm thinking, do I want to face Chapman or do I want to face Iglesias or Britton? And it's probably going to be Iglesias in my opinion. And I decided that I would rather face Chapman. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. I feel like I'd rather face Iglesias, so I put him to a decision. Does he want to try to win it this inning or does he want to try to go for it now or leave Chapman in? He decides to go for it now. So he brings in Miggy, and I kind of dilly-dally with Miggy. He ends up, Victor ends up dropping the ball. That was really terrible. Moves him to second, and at this point, I'm okay with putting Miggy on first. I think I would rather face Altuve than Miggy. So I just kind of pitch around him, kind of easily let him take first base. I don't really care. I would rather face Altuve in this spot, and I end up bringing my outfield. I bring them in because I feel like it's I don't want him to hit like a low line drive that falls in kind of short in the outfield and then get beat or have to make it a play at the plate. I would rather guarantee that I can keep that runner at third. So I bring my outfield in, not thinking that Altuve is really going to like pop one, super deep or anything. I feel like I can prevent him from doing that. So right here, man, I get that strike, and I have this 2-strike count on him, and I'm feeling so good, man. So I throw this high fastball, just thinking that I can get him, and I totally do get him. But he's so freaking fast, that speed. I know I keep talking about that speed, but 87 seems like it's so much faster than that. He ends up getting lucky, getting on base. I'm so pissed right now. I'm so pissed because if this game ends up getting decided on that, I'd be infuriated. Luckily, though, Andre Dawson pops out to right field. I throw a beautiful cutter there, get him to pop out to right field, and we're still in this ball game. Nothing really happens in the 10th, so moving on to the 11th, we have Jackie Robinson up. And man, I've actually kind of fallen in love with this Jackie Robinson card, guys. At second base, I don't know if there's a better second baseman out there considering the speed, the defense. His power isn't fantastic, but his power does show up from time to time. And right here, definitely shows up. I didn't even put that great of a swing on that ball. I really didn't. It was a changeup, kind of middle away. I don't get my PCI that well. Look at that feedback. It's not that great. But I end up hitting the home run and taking the lead, and I'm so pumped right now that I just go ahead and get another little rip with my creative player. So everything's going good. Typically, I don't like facing Iglesias, but he was hitting well. I was hitting him well for the most part. I really wish I had that pitch back right there, but I was kind of testing the waters to see if I could steal. I do go for the steal. It ends up turning into more of a hit and run. But we take second right there. We thought about taking third, but we end up just stopping. And then I'm kind of thinking right here, do I want to try to steal third with one out and get that extra run? And I decide that it's worth it. Unfortunately, he makes an amazing pitch for a situation like that. A high fastball, easy for his catcher to corral in and throw me out. So that kind of sucks, and it really sucks when you consider how this at-bat ends up turning out. We got V-Mart up here, and he throws a hanging slider that I scoop the other way, just kind of dump it out into left field. That definitely would have scored the run. It ends up being a double for me. That would have scored the run. I would have had a 2-run lead, almost guaranteed the win with the way that both of us are hitting. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. I'm going to have to deal with the 1-run lead because Miggy pops out in a horrific at-bat. But we have the 1-run lead going into the bottom of the 11th. So I'm really pumped. He has 2 lefties coming up, and I have Chapman in the on the mound for me. Sorry, I can't talk. I have Chapman on the mound, so I throw this middle-in fastball, ends up getting Griffey to pop out. Excellent, excellent news. Now the scary at-bat. This was going to be the scary at-bat for me, if this guy would, this guy could have made this at bat a lot more competitive. I throw this outside changeup, well spotted, and it ends up being quite an easy at bat. That was the one that scared me, was the Cal Ripken at bat. If I got past that, I felt really confident. Then with Eddie Matthews here, I take a look. I think about walking him, but I look at who he has on his bench that he could bring in to pinch hit. I'm like, screw that. Would much rather face Eddie Matthews right here. So I throw this slider, get that nice little strike. Then I throw this nice little changeup right here, and it fools him. He ends up grounding out to second base, and that is ball game, guys. That is ball game. This was such a roller coaster ride. That game was so frustrating, so intense at certain moments, and there were so many little things that happened over the course of the game that I'll look back on now, and I'm like, if that goes another way, or if I do that differently, I end up losing that game. But it turns out that I made the right decisions in the right moments, and it ended up winning me the game. And I knew that was going to take me up a good bit. Takes me up to a 1,024 rating. I'm really pumped about that. We're going to go check where that puts me in the standings. My goal was kind of to get into like the top 15-ish by the end of this season. We're well on our way there. We're up to 32nd on the leaderboard. I think I've gone back down to like 33rd or something like that. I haven't played a game. I think somebody just like passed me. But that was really... that was such a good game to get it on because it was so exciting. I hate, having like blowouts against 800 opponents and getting points off that. This was an excellent game and a very competitive one. If my opponent, if you're watching, you are a great player, an excellent pitcher. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it. Hopefully by the end of this season, we can get into that top 15 or so. That's kind of my goal. I haven't really tried to do anything else like that in any of the other seasons. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it. I will see y'all later. Peace!